Hello and welcome to Natural Informant Weekly. I'm Danny Curtin. Thank you for joining me today. H5N1, otherwise known as bird flu, has been in the spotlight recently. Media coverage has been snowballing about concerns of a human bird flu pandemic, with some claiming that this could be 100 times worse than COVID. But are these concerns warranted? Bird flu itself was first reported as far back as 1878, when an Italian scientist discovered an outbreak in poultry. And in more recent times, some of the serious warnings about the beginning of a bird flu pandemic began in 1997, and again in 2004, and in 2005, 2006, 2007, 2008, and every year since then. This year, H5N1 has been detected in wild birds, poultry, and a variety of mammals, including cats, cows, dolphins, seals, and a small number of humans. Dr. Mandy Cohen, director of the CDC, says they are taking the situation, quote, very seriously, and that we are concerned about the new reservoirs that have popped up, like in cattle. She says these reservoirs are new and make it much easier for the virus to circulate and potentially change or mutate. But many media outlets have failed to mention that Dr. Cohen also admitted that we have yet to see a case of human-to-human spread. Furthermore, top bird flu researchers raised similar concerns about the virus's wide global spread and its growing list of mammalian hosts. The researchers warned that we are getting dangerously close to a potential pandemic. However, other experts are urging a much more measured approach. There are many critical pieces of evidence that make this situation far less serious than many wish it to be. They say the sensationalized coverage has reported worst-case scenarios of a human pandemic that is fueling undue panic. For those that are concerned about their own safety, or if you just want to stay informed, here are the facts that we know about how H5N1 is being handled and the ability of it to spread. First, when H5N1 is detected on a farm, the agriculture departments in each respective state require the entire lot, group, or barn of animals to be completely euthanized. In the case of birds, culling is the nice term used for this process. In cases where there's thousands of birds in a barn, cullings are done by turning up the heat and turning off or clogging up the ventilation systems. After several hours of suffering, the birds die of heat stroke. You should also know the USDA reimburses companies 75% of the value of each euthanized animal, which is making many think that big agriculture companies are incentivized to kill off hundreds of thousands or even millions of infected animals. Since February of 2022, more than 82 million farmed birds have been culled. And last year, more than $30 billion in taxpayer money went to subsidize poultry losses from these practices. Now, for your own personal health and well-being, you should know the H5N1 strain is not a new virus. It was first discovered in geese in 1996. For birds and mammals, including humans, the virus is transmissible through direct contact with infected birds. It spreads through secretions from their eyes, nose, mouth, or from their droppings. And the person that was recently infected in Texas was directly handling infected birds, and the illness only manifested into a mild case of conjunctivitis, also known as pink eye. Additionally, in the United States, we have not seen any human-to-human or even mammal-to-mammal transmission of H5N1. Also of note, 90% of factory farm-raised chickens die within 48 hours of contracting the disease. Chickens that roam free range in uncrowded conditions with a good diet and without drugs to make them grow don't typically get sick. Of the ones that do, only a small percentage die from the illness. An important fact you might want to know the next time you're purchasing chicken. And all of the sensationalized reporting is being based on what-if scenarios, that the virus might mutate, it might this, it might that, but it never has. In 2004, Dr. Fauci said that half the U.S. population could die from bird flu. So, at this moment in time, I'm in agreement with Joel Salatin, a farmer and author. He advocates for natural immunity through breeding survivors and better farming practices rather than mass euthanasia. If all of these birds are already being killed, why not quarantine them and then breed the ones that survive? The current approach to handling bird flu is driven more by political and financial interests than by public health concerns. By trying to euthanize every single bird and animal that contracts this disease, all we do is prevent natural immunity. We continue to let this disease thrive and give it the best chance possible to mutate, which is what we are supposed to be trying to avoid, isn't it? And by compensating commercial farmers for their losses with no strings attached, the federal government is encouraging poultry growers to continue the very practices that heighten the risk of contagion and maybe eventual mutation. If these subsidies weren't in place, I'm fairly confident that these billion-dollar companies would figure out a way to keep their products safe from this disease, making everyone happier and healthier. If you enjoyed this content, please make sure to like it, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a week of the news you need to stay healthy. Again, I'm Danny Curtin. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.